between the New Orleans Saints and the Washington Commanders. One of two spots in the NFC title game awaits the winner here as we're underway in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. From the 6. And he won't quite make it to the 25. First carry here for Robinson. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Faking the handoff. Howell. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
Brad, I wonder if someone's down there checking on the head coach right now, because he might be in a little bit of shock after what just transpired. Instead of a lengthy opening drive to deal with, his guy stepped up and stole that drive away. Momentum on their side now. How will they attack on offense?
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, snapped at the 11.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. The play fake. Now White. Rolling to his right. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off. It made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So Tyler Bass on now for the field goal. This a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt. The kick by Bass is good. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll be out of bounds here, a yard shy of the 25 at the 24. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And they'll be looking to make amends for that first drive, which came to a rather abrupt ending.
Certainly did, and I remember going back to my notes before this game, and a lot of times when I scout a guy, I have a little section about how does he handle adversity. And in this case, a big check mark. He may have thrown the first interception, but I don't think he's going to throw very many more. As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st down, Howell. He rifles one that's intercepted. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. Really nice pick there for the reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week. And a good story on that. He said he didn't even know he won the award. His buddy had to call him. He saw it on television and said, hey, congratulations. How about that?
And I'll bet you his buddy said, well, since you didn't know, I'll just go ahead and claim the award, right? And everything that goes along with it. But the reason he won the award the previous week and what we just saw there, instincts, understanding where the play is going and being able to make a play on the football.
Here's Kamara out of the pistol. A little juke. And out of bounds right around the 20. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. On the counter, here's Kamara. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Here's White. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. A 20-yard touchdown as his guys are able to extend their lead. And Tyler Bass on for the extra point attempt. Now, these are not going to be easy on a cold, snowy night, but this one is up and through. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be sterner with it. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down. Powell to the air on 1st and 10. Looking for Dotson, and he's got him. And he'll have it past midfield, almost to the 40, before being taken down. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And once more, Howell back to the air. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
10-0 the score after one on EA Sports. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on third down. Howell looking to throw again. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They run it again with Kamara. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Out of the gun, it's White. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
In every game, we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
And he put enough leg into it, but it's well off to the right and no good. And the lead will hold at 10. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Howell throwing on 3rd down here. Able to connect with Dotson. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And it's caught. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. De'Ami Brown from 17 yards out. And the Commanders have cut it back within a score. You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. Fielded right around the 8. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You know, always feel like you want to get in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, so.
It does test the mental processes of the team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up, because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch, and guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did, because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Again, it's Kamara. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now White. Over the middle, it's complete. Call it a gain of a yard, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. A reminder that coming up Time we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. Now White. Hunter Henry brings it in. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 29 yards on third down.
Normally on third down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
They'll throw this out wide and complete it to Ridley. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that will bring up second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. A 10th carry for Kamara. And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. 60 yards rushing for him now as he has been strong here in the first half of this divisional round matchup.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on third down. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
So Tyler Bass on now for the field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Bass is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. The Commanders going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Howell. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now they go play action with Howell. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. This one taken just inside the 10. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they've been the better of the two teams through 2 quarters of play, much to the chagrin of this home crowd.
Yeah, this score is a surprise to a lot of folks at home, although not to my dad. He predicted the visitors would win. And maybe to the folks in the stadium, but you know who is not a surprise to, partner? This team with the football. They were very confident coming in.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Kamara up the middle. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. To throw, White. Open man, the tight end, Henry. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And gets by him, and now a little daylight. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 78 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Off play action, here's White. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Jamin Davis charges in there hard and drops him for a loss of 12 from that outside linebacker position.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Gets this out quickly to Dotson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
First down, Howell to throw. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And this is going to fall to the ground, incomplete. That very nearly their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. 2nd and 10 here as we sit in the 3rd quarter of this divisional round matchup. Second down, Howell back to pass. That swung out wide to Sanders. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st. Another throw for Howell. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 22. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for first and 10. The busy night continues for Kamara. And he carries this one past the midfield stripe and into Commander territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown. A big play there. 47 yards. And the Saints will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
They'll try and throw for it. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. And the formula there on the 2-point try to go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that someone, if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
In the third quarter here in D.C., a 2nd and 10 upcoming. 2nd and 10, Howell. Quick slant, Dotson. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. And this won't be enough. Stopped a yard short after a gain of 3. 4th down. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Fourth down, Howell, desperation time. And it's going to be batted down, and will go the other way with the football. Washington goes for it, but it does not pan out. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Kamara try the right side. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
The play fake, now White. Dancing to his left. He'll get that one to Carter, complete. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 9. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. So Tyler Bass on now for the field goal. This to make it a 3-score game late. And this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good. And this will remain a 2-touchdown game. Well, this one now not over yet, Charles. You've got a sliver of hope on that other sideline.
You certainly do, because that would have made it a 3-score game, and that probably would have been curtains at that point. But now if they can get down the field quickly and somehow get the ball back one more time, we may have a different ball game.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And this could be the defining moment of their season, all hyperbole aside. You're trailing here in the 4th quarter, the divisional round. And they need to come up with something as they get this drive started. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it's 2nd down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But I am excited about this. I know you are, too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. The extra point up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And this has been a tight game to this point. Of course, they usually are at this juncture of the playoffs. But with the lead in the football, the clock right now their friend as they try to book their spot in the conference championship next Sunday. 113 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in this divisional round matchup. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on first down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on, because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. White looks to throw. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. When that ball popped free, we could hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone of the fumble. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on it.
Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't make it easier for them to start to make a comeback.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. We're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Running left on the handoff is Kamara. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock, and this is 2nd and less than a yard. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Here's White. And that is incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you had. Maybe you get it in pre-snap. He locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Here comes the Saints punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He's going to field this at the 4. 31 yards on the punt there. And the Commanders will take over, but backed up deep in their own territory. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Well, the football changing hands here as this offense takes the field. Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan?
Oh, he forces one there. It's a potential dagger as it's intercepted. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Again, this is Kamara. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, he can't hold him.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. And boy, this burgundy and gold defense charged up now. They stop him behind the line again. The Saints in victory formation now as they'll take the knee. So they file for the exits here in silence. And what a job to come in on the road, divisional round of the playoffs, and you get to end it by going down to a knee.
Now their confidence has to be at an extreme high. That's 2 weeks in a row they've gone on the road and gotten it done. They don't care where they go. From here on out, they think they can beat anyone.
And they have secured a spot in the conference championship.